challenges that the government market is facing right now are quite large. We are looking at foreign states that are working towards adopting AI in a method that is contrary to what we're trying to do. We're trying to adopt AI in a reliable, transparent, and trustworthy manner where privacy really matters. Another challenge that we're facing in the government market is no one really knows whether or not the models actually do what they're supposed to do. And you're dealing with some mission critical types of operations. It could be weapons systems where lives are at stake and matter. It could be intelligence communities where if you don't have the right data, it could be lives, it could be targets, it could be a matter of general intelligence for the country to be able to act within negotiations. And then, you look at civilian markets and the challenges are very real and very similar as well, where you're looking at anything from body cameras for federal law enforcement agents to facial recognition to border control. Most of the money today is being spent on research and development, and there's a very distinct separation between moving from research and development into operations based on that lack of understanding around whether or not the artificial intelligence models are actually trustworthy. From a deployment perspective, I think the challenge goes for the continuous integration and continuous deployment, the DevOps of model development. So first, you have to get the challenge of what is the goal of the artificial intelligence model? What is the outcome that you want? Then you have to create a model, put it through real world performance tests to determine when you do put it into operation, will it accomplish the goals that you want? And then you have to continuously monitor models because there are changes that occur over time. It is generally a part of a system of systems, but making sure that you get the actual model itself correct and make sure that it's accurate is imperative. Having the ability to continuously test and make sure that the models operate the way they should. There's not a lot of competition to do what we do in an automated fashion. Now, there is a lot that's being done today from a services standpoint, data scientists testing and iterating on models. So you can automate that process. It takes an element of data science work off the table, and then it gives you the ability to kind of create a standard baseline for testing through this repeatable and automated process. When you look at security testing, it goes to security teams and red teaming, also a very manual process. And neither testing for real world conditions or security when you're working with manual processes is highly scalable. It also takes a really long period of time. It could be anywhere from days to weeks to months. Automating that process brings the ability to test and create an understanding around models where the model would actually work or break down, brings it back to hours. There is a lack of governance right now in federal markets around artificial intelligence, but there's a huge amount of guidance. I can state an example from the Department of Defense where they came out with a DoD responsible AI memorandum. And there's a number of key tenets around reliability and transparency and a number of other tenets that we map very, very closely to. In fact, the foundation of what we're doing as an organization is to create transparency in the models and to truly understand whether or not the models themselves can be trusted and frankly putting them into categories that people don't have to have a data science background to understand. When you look at translating data science talk to more of an executive summary that a senior leader can take a look at, we create a dashboard around the characteristics and attributes that the model tester had put the model through while running it through our tool, VESPR Validate. And so that dashboard creates a very simplistic view around where the vulnerabilities are if you're putting the model through real world conditions. So for example, if you're using a full motion video and you're running it through VESPR Validate, we could take a look at motion blur and see how that degrades the accuracy score or the F1 score of the actual model. We can also start to use things like fog and different variations of that fog and perturbations to determine, as you're getting denser and denser with fog, what does that do to the model accuracy? And then the report itself gives you that dashboard that you can really dig into if you want, or you could take a look at it and through a very quick understanding, get a good idea of how robust that model would be. One of the ways that we empower the market to make decisions is accelerating the test cycle. However, during model development, we can help data scientists determine the vulnerabilities early on before they go into the test cycle and help them iterate on the model. After the model's in production, we can also continue to test the model as it changes and evolves over time, or as environmental conditions change and evolve over time. Our entire goal is to reduce the time spent in research and development so that you can get into operations and achieve the benefits of the AI models. The market really doesn't understand there is this type of capability. It's an exciting tool that allows people to determine how robust is my model. There's many companies out there that are adopting artificial intelligence. In fact, the market itself is huge. I think there was about $340 billion spent in 2021 around artificial intelligence worldwide. Less than 25% of organizations have been able to achieve the outcomes that they wanted through adoption of artificial intelligence, through widespread capabilities in their organization. And Gartner predicts that over 85% of AI models are going to deliver erroneous outcomes for a multitude of reasons. So the fact that people are spending this amount of money on artificial intelligence without the ability to operationalize becomes concerning. So the automated test and evaluation capability that we can work through will, without a doubt, help increase the time to production and time to operationalize artificial intelligence models. So I think that the time is now, because we need to work towards getting trustworthy and reliable models to the U.S. government, to governments across the world, and really do this in an ethical, responsible way.